very much, viewers. We welcome you to another edition of the Youth Dialogue. The Youth Dialogue is the #1 youth platform in the country here, where young people of the country are invited to discuss pertinent issues, significant issues that affect their lives and development of this country. So it is very beautiful, it is very interesting to have this program once again, and we thank the viewers for always at least watching this program. And today on this program, absolutely, I wouldn't be doing the program alone. For the first time, I have a co-host, and the co-host for this program will introduce herself. Good evening.
Good evening, Choi. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure co-hosting with you for the first time. Today, we have someone here involved in the agricultural sector. I guess agriculture is so important, and then no country can thrive without it.
Absolutely.
And then we have him here today, and he's here to talk to us about his success story. And then,
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, thank you very much, Lena. I know Lena is very excited with the topic of discussion that we have today, which she has already hinted to viewers. We wanted to keep that in store while we also, before we get into the program proper, we introduce our guest, a very big gentleman here. Good evening.
Evening, Mr. Choi, and thank you for having me. I am Omar A. Manja, born and brought up from the coastal village of Gunjur, Kombo South, a 4th-year biology and agricultural student and national youth parliamentarian for Kombo South.
Okay. We should be mindful. We should be mindful because the preceding title is Honorable. Honorable Manjang. So forgive us if we...
Forgive us, Honorable. We're addressing and using the Honorable.
No problem with that. No problem
with
that.
So, first of all, I will want to introduce the topic. The topic is quite important given our socio-economic development. In our last program, we discussed youth inclusion in politics and governance, but we also highlighted the percentage constitute the youth population. So, but here today we are discussing agriculture, youth participation in agriculture. 65% of the country, only 21% of the youth population in the Gambia are employed in the agricultural sector. And this is below the threshold or the number that is required by the Malabo Declaration on Accelerated Agricultural Growth and Transformation for Shared Prosperity and Improved Livelihoods, which is from the African Union, which says at least 30 our viewers so that they keep in touch, because we have very interesting issues, very interesting things to discuss. So keep very close to your television while we discuss this very important topic. We'll take a very short break, and we'll be right back. Welcome back, viewers. It is another exciting episode, and we will go straight away to our topic of discussion. We all know that the country is faced with food security challenges, and there are some young people who are trying to change the narrative. And Honorable Omar Manjang, who is also a student of the University of the Gambia and agribusiness entrepreneur, is here to discuss with us on this topic. Honorable Manjang, tell us about your agribusiness career. How is it progressing now?
Very good. I am born to farmers. To see who I am today is from the proceedings from the farming. For that being the case, is the #1 profession that we were introduced to. So as time goes on, as I climb to the academic ladder, I realized that I should add value to these traditional skills. So alongside at UTG, I had an opportunity to minor a certain course. I realized that UTG, agriculture can be that opportunity. So there, and then I decided to establish my own farm, and which is called Green Yard Agribusiness. And in this farm, we do 3 different activities, and these are during off-rainy season, we do horticultural production, and during rainy season, we do cash cropping, and then equally alongside, we also do other agro services like pruning, grafting, composting, and then the list goes on. But our approach to agriculture, as I said earlier, that to add value to what I learned traditionally, and what we are adding is the climate-smart approaches to agriculture that will carry all and sundry, and which is eco-friendly to our environment. Very good.
Basically, Omar Manjang has just given us a synopsis of his agri-business in the country here. You are a young person, you are at the University of the Gambia, but this is an area that you are particularly interested in, given your family pedigree in agricultural, in their agricultural practice. Apart from your family background, what has been the motivation as a young person? Because I know that 40% of the youth population of the country are unemployed, 20% employed in agriculture, and you are part of that 20%. What is the motivation? What motivates you? Because it's a field that many young people are running away from.
Good. Aside from the family, looking at the current situation of the Gambia, even before now, realize that food security is a problem. And then nobody should sit and see these things happening. I think it needs some concerted effort. So these has motivated me putting into consideration every individual. And today we are having this program is as a result of there's something in our stomach. So I feel like let me design my entrepreneurship in this direction that will be in the field to produce, and equally we can also increase our economic gain. So these are some of the factors in addition to the traditional knowledge, and this has pushed me to establish my own agricultural business.
So Honorable Omar is trying to be part of the solution.
Good.
The young people are the most valuable asset of the country. You've just highlighted your career and what has been the motivation. Maybe here it's the right time for me to bring in Lena to interact with our Honorable Manjang.
Honorable, you mentioned cash crop production, and then I would like to know, how do you sell? Do you make profits? How is the market for you?
Yeah, market is a narrative of its own, for the fact that usually our experience to the market is not as handsome as normally we come across. For my side, this year is one of the successful farming season, for the fact that I grow a hectare of groundnut. When we started the harvesting, the bag was $1,300. But as we go alongside, we realize that it has increased to 1,700. As I'm speaking to you, some are selling $2,000. So this was a very good opportunity, and it was a great opportunity for us, because I remember there were years that we sold a bag at $500 to $450. So this year is one of the successful years for some of us. So normally the marketing at that side this year, it was a very good one for us.
With all the hectares, you didn't bring us granite. Honorable, you should have brought us granite. But then I would like to know, how did you acquire that land?
Yes, the land basically is not mine, considering the fact that for horticultural production, where the video is or the picture is, that's owned by myself. Okay. But the other land that you are seeing where the groundnut is produced is somewhere, and I borrowed the land. So after the groundnut season, I have to return the land, and which is already done for now.
But if you return the land, you do not pay, or do you do pay?
I pay in cash.
Oh.
And then this was an agreement.
Okay.
And then equally, you may also have it in opportunity where you can use the land free of charge, and then after the end of the day, you return it. Good.
Yes, I understand that access to land and credit is one of the challenges. Before we discuss that, let's discuss about the problem, the perception. Why do you think young people are not getting into this? Before actually we even discuss that, maybe it's important for you to tell us what opportunities there are in this sector and the benefits you've already started accruing from it.
Good. Looking at agriculture, I would say there is no lose for the fact that currently the way the world is moving, everybody needs food to be sustained. So therefore, anything that you produce, you must have somebody who needs it. So these are some of the opportunities in there. That's the reason we are called entrepreneurs. We take opportunities to be, we take problems to be opportunities. So agriculture is full of opportunities considering the Gambians' approach to agriculture. We have almost all the applicable parts of agriculture can be applied in the Gambia, coming down to the horticulture, aquaculture, poniculture, apiculture. All these things are things that are easily accessible in the Gambia. But for the fact that the problem still persists, these are not there. It's easy to say, but it's not attractive to youth.
Yes, you were directly talking to young people here. There are so many young people out there who rely on this program as a source of motivation. They want to hear from you what benefits have you been driving from it, because if you want to get them to take part in what you're doing, you have to tell them how successful it has been for you.
Very good. This journey has given me so many opportunities. Looking into consideration, first, employment opportunities. I'm able to employ 2 individuals, and then equally, at an interval, I also give up contracts to people based on the kind of labor I need in my farm. And then in terms of exposure, wherever I am, I meet with people. Congratulations, you motivated me. So many things. These are all things that you can derive from this sector. And equally, looking at the food security part of it, because as the saying goes, you are what you eat. So if you are eating things that are embedded with chemical, I think the repercussion is you won't have a better health. So these are all things that, and then looking at the long-term opportunity, today we are facing a lot of post-harvest loss. But we hope that the government will take our plight seriously when we have industries around. That will be the time for us also to be driving anywhere you see us with our beautiful cars. Yes. So there are a lot of opportunities, and I believe this is a very important program. And if you are fond of following this program, I believe young people like us and many other individuals will definitely help you to get more taste into agriculture. And I believe me, definitely you can make it in this country. Good.
Yes, you talk about post-harvest losses, which is also a problem, and you want government and other stakeholders to at least getting into this area to support your agribusiness career. What are the causes? What is causing these post-harvest losses?
These causes of this post-harvest loss is coming from different angles, starting with the climate change. Of recent, farmers definitely will all bear with me that we have seen certain pests that were not been seen for some years ago. But with the intervention of some of, or with the investigation of some of these diseases and pests, you realize that easily the fruits, most especially the perishable ones, they got into post-harvest loss. Okay, and then also the storage facilities are also limited. You realize there will be some times where you go to the market, you produce, almost all the farmers will produce a particular type of crops. So if that is introduced to the market and then the market demand is very low, you realize that at the end of the day, farmers do not have any opportunity to keep those things in the cold store. They have to sell it at a giveaway price, or else you allow them to be destroyed like that. So, and then the list goes on. These are some of the problems that we
it's
are
one
facing.
of the problems that the farmers are
the
facing.
farmers are facing in that direction.
Lena, you appear to have some
He
things
mentioned like the agriculture sector not being much appealing. How do you think, or what do you think should be done to make it more appealing to young people?
That one, I think the government should make agriculture sexy, for the fact that this has to be started from the schools. The teachers taking agricultural courses should be well molded with agricultural technologies, more especially the modern ones. For the fact that now some students will run away from agriculture as a result, some teachers will use agriculture as a medium of punishing students. Like for instance, if you come to school late, you are allowed to go to the garden and water 10 beds and so on. So as you are exposed to such inhuman way of punishment, you realize that this will deter your interest in agriculture. And then equally, the tertiary institutions that are established to impact agricultural skills, those skill centers should be well nurtured with requisite materials. I can't take it if you are doing horticulture, you spend the entire course within the classroom. You couldn't go out to practicalize the knowledge or whatsoever. And equally, you do a course like poultry. You got A1 in poultry. You couldn't even have a feather of a bird. So these are things that the government and the stakeholders have to look agriculture holistically and see molded such in a way that it will solve the current realities. But in as much as that is not done, we keep on producing people, and then after all we introduce them to the society, they don't have that appetite to implement or then give a test of their knowledge. That's a very, very, very bad situation at the moment.
Thank you very much. I understand you have so much things to say about what is happening in the agricultural sector because you're directly taking part in it. But this conversation is not only meant for us. Our viewers are also watching. You can actively take part in this program by calling. The lines will be on the screen, 50-50505, 50-50505. That is the number for you to call and take part in this program. What are your contributions? The topic of discussion is youth in agriculture. How do we